Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Vemma founder and CEO, BK Boreyko.
This event, you know, I don't get a chance to come to Europe that often. I seem to have like 20-something kids back home that are constantly needing my attention and a full-time job. But when I do come here, I want to have the opportunity to spend face time in front of you, to be able to talk to you about our plans for your future, our plans for this European market, and my co-CEO for Vemma Europe, Simon Grabowski, and his team. Have they not done a phenomenal job at putting this event together? We got started a little bit late because the queue was a little bit long, and I said, hey, we got to make sure we get everybody in the seats. I hope you appreciate that, and I hope you don't mind if we run a little bit late tonight. Is everybody okay with that? Because we've got some amazing things in store for you for not only tonight, but also for tomorrow. It is, the plans that we have for you are going to keep you up at night. And it's not going to be the verve keeping you up. It's going to be the excitement that you have about your future and your potential with this business. Because, you know, up until now, we've just been getting started. I mean, you haven't even seen our best stuff yet, and that's going to be 2015 for you. But I've got a few notes that I want to talk about. But before I do that, do we have time for a selfie? All right, hold on. Here we go. You guys. Oh, you guys are great. The time we live in. But, you know, what I've been talking about as I meet with groups of 50 people or 500 people or, you know, close to 5,000 people is the fact that we're getting to we spend millions and millions of dollars on branding to make you look good, to make Vemma and its brands look good. And you can take that investment and multiply it by 5 or 10 times by doing just one thing. And that's under-promising and over-delivering. Because, you know, you could be introduced to something and been told that it'll do this or do that, and if it doesn't do this or do that, if you over-promise and you under-deliver, what you're doing is you're taking that investment and you're throwing it out the window. But on the other hand, if you underpromise and overdeliver, if you give people more than they expect from these products, from this opportunity, then all of a sudden you're taking our investment and you're multiplying it many times over. And so that is what I've been telling groups of people all over this world, is that the Vemma philosophy is to underpromise and overdeliver in everything that we do, from the products, from the opportunity to the level of customer service, everything. Can you guys buy into that philosophy for me? All right. You know, this past year, we have accomplished something that only 17 other companies in the world of direct selling accomplished. And that is, we grew by over $100 million in a year. And I have never had the goal or the desire to be the fastest growing at anything. I mean, you know, my dad raised me with the simple philosophy. He said, son, they don't remember how fast you do something, they remember how well you do something. And so it's not my desire to continue to be the fastest growing or in the top 17 companies in the world. My desire is to be the company that everybody in this industry looks at and says, that's the way it should be done. That's the way. And, and if I don't get to, I feel like just hugging everybody in this room. If I had the time, I would give everybody a hug because you guys have done some amazing things. Last year, you ended up at over $50 million in sales. This year, you're forecasting to be at $85 million, up 72% over last year. And that's just a testament of how much potential. I believe that Europe could be the #1 market in this entire world of Vemma. I know. Now I know we have some affiliates in America, and I know we have some affiliates in Asia that don't believe that, but I believe that. And when I came out and I said, my people, you need to understand that my ancestors, half Ukrainian and half Polish. I mean, this is my DNA. It runs throughout all of Europe. And so when I come here, I feel very centered. I feel very comfortable because, when you look at Vemma, from its positioning, from its branding, it actually looks like a European company. We just happened to, my parents forced me to move to Arizona when I was 7 years old. But, I've gotten through therapy and gotten through all that. And I try to come back here and visit as often as I can. But one of the things that we want to accomplish this year is to really sort of take stock at what we've accomplished, but not be content with that. To be searching for ways to be able to refine our mission, to deliver a message more effectively so that we can reach more people, and so that we can also, shorten a person's learning curve and increase their chances of success. I can't guarantee everybody is going to be successful in this business, but I can guarantee you that I'm going to work hard every day to help make this the best financial decision that you've ever made to be a part of Vemma. And that you can count on. And, people have different levels of success. I mean, to some people, success may be getting free product. And that's great. I mean, everybody's got to kind of start with the level that they can believe. And, it's funny that I used to be in advertising for 7 years. And every time I would sit down with a business owner and I'd talk about strategies and how to take their business to the next level, every business owner I ever talked to always agreed that word of mouth was the best form of advertising. And yet it's the most sought after form of advertising that is the least compensated. And if you went into Starbucks and brought 3 of your friends and you asked for a free cup of coffee, they would look at you funny. But with Vemma, if you introduce 3 of your friends as customers to Vemma, we're going to reward you for that. And that's going to be our flat. So for some people, that's the first step. To other people, maybe they just want to make an extra 500 euro or an extra 1,000 euro. When my parents, I failed miserably at Amway. Anybody that's successful in Amway, I have a tremendous amount of respect for because I tried it for 3 years and I failed miserably and I went into the advertising business. But then my mom, and you can see pictures of my mom and dad back there, they came back at me and they said, hey, you know what? What if you could make an extra $2,000 a month, part-time? And if they would have talked to me about $10,000 a month or, some of the numbers that people are earning that are going to come across this stage this weekend, I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't be able to relate with it. And so it's important as we underpromise and we overdeliver that we come to people with goals and suggestions that they can wrap their arms around, that they can believe. Because you know what, if we can help somebody make an extra 500 or 1,000 euro part-time, it's kind of like if you can bake a dozen cookies. You can bake 1,000 dozen cookies. You already know how to do it once. But if you talk to somebody about baking 1,000 dozen cookies, they might say you're crazy. But let's just start off small. Start off at something that they can believe in. And then when they sort of know what we know in this room, then all of a sudden they can start expanding. Because, when I hit $2,000 a month part-time, I thought, hey, you know what? If I did 2, I could do 4. And if I could do 4, I could do 8. But don't talk to me about 8 when I'm doing 0. It's very important because I want you guys to be able to build yourself an empire about people that surround you. They believe in you. They believe in what you say. And sometimes if you say things that are happening for other people, but the person you're talking to doesn't have the belief level yet of them being able to do it, they're going to say, well, that's not true for me. And so maybe what's true for them is an extra 500 euros a month. And that's okay. Or maybe it's free product. Maybe they just want to start a free product. So come to where they're at. And you know what? When we accomplished what we accomplished last year, people start looking at us and media starts talking about us, and you know, we get some press, and some is fair and some is not fair. But you want to know what, and Darren Hardy loves this. He's like, man, you made it on the Today Show. And I went, yeah, I did. He goes, no, that's great. Because see, if you weren't doing anything, nobody would be talking about you. He says, you got to wear this criticism like a badge of honor. And I never really thought about it like that before. And so when, you know, people are going to criticize you personally, you know, sometimes I remember when I was selling advertising and I decided to leave advertising, and my friend, who I thought was my friend for 6 years, I sat next to him, came up to me and he said, you know what? You're going to be back begging for your job in 6 months. And I don't know what motivates you, but somebody tells me that, I will work day and night to make sure that I'm right and they're not right. And so, people are going to hate on you. People are going to criticize you. They still, I've been doing this 19 years as an owner. They still criticize me. I don't know. I feel that I'm such a great guy. You can ask my girlfriend Kayla there. She thinks I'm a great guy. The elite all think, you guys think I'm a great guy? See? Do you guys think I'm a great guy? So another bit of advice my mom used to tell me is, son, doubt your doubts before you doubt your beliefs. Doubt your doubts before you doubt your beliefs. Don't doubt what you believe in. Don't doubt what you know is true. Don't doubt what you know is possible. And so, we are, at the core, a wellness company. And I got to tell you, you know, we were talking with the elite today in our strategy session. Europe has never seen the kind of wellness products that we're bringing to the marketplace before. You know, even the governments are finding a hard time to classify them because the innovation is such that they're like, they don't know where to fit us in. And that's what I'm proud of, because we're a wellness company, and you know what, if you're out there and you're part of that marketplace that says, hey, you know what I want to do? I want to build a company, a business, one more time for the right reasons. And I want to have longevity in my business. Everybody wants the dream of long-term residual income. And if you want that, you really need to look back at the past and say, hey, what has lasted long-term? And do you realize 80 years ago, a little company called Nutrilite got started selling multivitamins. And Amway bought them. And do you realize that Nutrilite is the #1 selling multivitamin in the world? And this is 80 years has gone by. And so a person would have to think, well, for the next 80 years, you know, supplementation, I don't think the food supply is getting any better or any healthier. You know, I think that people aren't, you know, they'd rather drive through a restaurant than to go home and eat right. And so supplementation is something that most educated people believe in. Hey, this is something long-term. And that's the core of Vemma is, you know, I want to be the Apple computers of the wellness industry. And what I mean by that is you take a look at Apple. And you understand that they didn't invent the computer, and they didn't invent the tablet, they didn't even invent the cell phone. All they did was bring their innovation and build products that people just absolutely fall in love with. And that's what I want to do in the wellness space, is I want to, you know, make it easier for you to be able to get your vitamins, for your family to be able to get your vitamins. Build products that whether you're, you know, 2 years old or 102 years old, something fits for you with Vemma. We want to make taking your vitamins sexy. And we do that with the Verve brand. And so that is our innovation that we're bringing to this wellness space. And that's what's going to make us the Apple computers of the nutrition industry. That's what's going to make Vemma one day be a household name all across Europe. And I'm excited that you guys are in at the very beginning, because this mission that we're on, we're just getting started. You guys feel that? Well, let me talk. You know, a lot of people, you hear the kids making a lot of noise. You know, that's what kids do. I love that. You know, people think, oh, Vemma is just for young people. And you realize 2 of our 3 brands are actually designed for the baby boomers, those 76 million, you know, people that have the most sought-after marketing segment in the history of the world. And, you know, it's our Vemma with our antioxidants and our body line. And that is really the niche for the baby boomers. And then we have these millennials, these 80 million millennials, these young people that within 2 years are going to outspend the baby boomers for the first time in the history of the planet. They are the future of business. They are what all the companies are looking at. How do they attract because the baby boomers, you need to give it to them fast. You need to give the message to them fast and clear and concise and fun and easy and sexy and all that kind of stuff. And because that's the way they like their information. And so here we come along with this brand called Verve that young people identify with. You know, the baby boomers, they're all about coffee. You know, that's the #1 energy drink in the world is coffee. But the young people, they're all about energy drinks. And here we come along with this, hey, if you're going to drink energy drinks, why don't you drink a healthy energy drink? Why don't you stop spending your money here and start spending it here? And oh, by the way, if you want to promote it, if you want to talk it up, if you want to sell it, you're able to generate a part-time income. And that is the message that has attracted young people to our business like never before in direct sales history. And you young people, my hat's off to you, because I've never seen anything like it. And now I just want to be able to give you a little bit of advice, okay? Think of me as your older brother. Don't think of me as your dad, because I ain't ready to go there yet, okay? But think of me as your older brother. And one of the things that young people like to go to is parties. When you go to a party, it's easy to go to a party, and it's easy to leave a party. But I don't want the YPR to be thought of as a party. I want the YPR to be thought of as a think tank, as an experience that young people can develop themselves into the entrepreneurs, into the leaders of the future. And so when we turn this project over to Mark Patterson, you're going to hear from Mark tomorrow, he says what we want to really develop is these young professionals. We want them to be looked up and admired. We want, when parents hear about the young professional revolution, that what they learn is something that they get so excited about having their kids to be able to be a part of. What we want is something that they're so proud of being a part of it, that they put it on their resume. And what we're able to do is we're able to have young people focus on the leaders that they become, the fact that they can develop more confidence, the fact that they can develop the skill set to be able to speak in front of people and to have better people skills and you know, walk with their shoulders back a little bit more and really develop this entrepreneurial spirit that is in so many young people. And that's what we are going to have the young professional revolution reposition to be, is something where people understand it's not like going to a party. It's like going to school. It's like we want to learn the aspects it takes to become leaders. You don't become a leader in a week. You don't become a leader in a month. You don't become a leader in 6 months. Leadership is something that you need to develop, and it's something that takes time. But I want to tell you something. When you develop yourself into a leader, here's the good news. It stays with you the rest of your life. So what we're talking today about, and what you're going to hear about on this stage tonight and tomorrow, is the YPR being repositioned as young professionals, as being able to be a place where young people can come and cultivate their values, their skill set, and learn the principles it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. And oh, by the way, they can, you know, instead of going to school and having to pay for 4 years or 6 years or whatever it is here in Europe, you're going to be able to earn a part-time income as you learn. And it may take you a year to become a leader. It may take you 2 years to become a leader. But I want to tell you, the things that you're going to learn in the new YPR are things and principles that are going to stay with you for the rest of your life. So I hope you appreciate that type of a repositioning on the company's part here. And if you're in school, stay in school. You know, one thing my dad used to tell me, he said, son, you got to circulate to percolate. I don't know how that's going to translate into Finnish or any of those other languages. But what he meant to say is, you've got to get out and about. You got to be meeting people. You know, what you are in this business is you're basically a talent scout. You're looking for people that impress you. You're looking for people that have that glimmer in their eye about, hey, I want to do something great with my life. I want to build something that I can leave a legacy behind. That's what you're looking for. And you can't meet those people staying home. You got to get out there and meet those people. And here's the great part about it being a young person in school, is that you're surrounded by literally thousands of people with one goal, and that's to improve themselves. They want to study, they want to learn, they want to improve themselves. And so if you're in school, stay in school. Finish school, because I got to tell you, finishing what you start could be the #1 skill that you learn to become successful in whatever you decide to become successful in. But you got to develop that habit of just finishing what you start. And if you dropped out of school, maybe go back to school. Maybe finish that, and you'll be amazed. And take business classes. Take international business classes. You know, one of the things that just amazed me while we were talking with the elite at the strategy session is we've got people, and we've got young people, that have built an international business. We've got leadership from the United States that are here, and they're traveling all across Europe, talking to their organizations. And what they understand is they understand that social media has brought people together like never before. And all of a sudden now, with this Vemma opportunity and this YPR mission that we're on, they're able to monetize that. They're able to connect with those people for a bigger purpose. And one of the last things I want to talk to you, I got a special message from Eric Thomas. E.T. knew about you guys, and he's like, I gotta throw something down on video and talk to these folks. And so I'm going to get to that in just a second here. But one of the other things I want you to talk about when it comes to Vemma is the fact that you don't have to overpromise on the results that this product will get for people, this formula, this Vemma formula. You want to under-promise that, and it'll over-deliver for you. You don't have to rely on health claims. You can rely on our science. We've spent almost $1 million on clinical science behind this, and so I want you to take a hold of that investment and be able to use it in your business. Now, can this business change your life? Yes, it can. Here's the thing. I pay out almost $2 million a week to people like you all over the world. And here's what doesn't really make a lot of sense. Thank you. Here's, to a normal businessman, here's what doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't decide how much your checks are. My signature is at the bottom, or Simon's signature is at the bottom of these checks, but we don't decide how much the checks are. Guess who decides how much the checks are? You guys. You guys understand how powerful you are in this business? How one decision, one event like this, where you get away from the distractions of the rest of the world and you focus on your dreams, your desires, your whys, and you make a decision that can have a positive impact on the rest of your life and pay you whatever amount, you fill in the blank, whatever amount you want that to be. But you can do that by helping enough people get what they want. Just like Zig Ziglar said, you do that, and guess what? You get what you want. He didn't say you get what you want by helping enough people get what they want. He said the opposite. He said you help enough people get what they want, and you're going to get what you want. And how many people... And how many people Want to hear from Eric Thomas? All right, guys. Get a load of this.